What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the show. Obviously, we're pretty excited to be at the Delta Soul Golf Tournament, and we got an awesome guest coming up here that we're going to talk to. So like, subscribe, thumbs up, and let's get this thing going. It should be.
It probably was.
With Jake Coker and I are really excited to have Richard Karn on with us.
So we do this show. We do a pregame. It's obviously an Alabama show is what we have here.
Okay.
And so we were at. I'm sure you have you ever been to the Floribama? You know the.
Yes. And actually, if you look at my my golf bag out there, I've got Joe Namath on there.
Oh, nice.
I have Joe Namath in red and in green, looking at each other. You know, Alabama Jets.
Really?
Yeah.
I've met Joe Namath 2 or 3 times. One of the most surreal experiences was walking up to him and him knowing my name. Could not believe it. Of course, we both played at Alabama, so
yeah.
I mean that's the only reason he knew. But it still kind of blew my mind because
Well, that must have been post not drinking.
It was early. It was early.
Oh, it was early on? Then, that was luck of the draw.
Yeah, one of my, it's just Joe. I think Joe's one of those guys that could just get away with anything.
Well, until there was a point when it made him stop drinking.
Yeah.
Well,
and he couldn't get away with that because it was on national television. And you know what? He was smart enough to go, I just need to take care of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, I can tell you, meeting him in person, he was one of the most gracious.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the best interactions I've had with anyone that I, was seeking out to meet because he was, charismatic. He was, larger than life, even in person, lived up to the expectation,
Well, it wasn't until I'd seen the 30-30 on ESPN, because I didn't know him, or I didn't know of him when he was at Alabama. It wasn't until the Jets stuff that he was an amazing runner. That's why his knees got knocked out.
Yeah.
He was a good runner, and then all of a sudden he couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, he was definitely somebody that left an impression too. I mean, you watch the 30 for 30 and Broadway Joe and the outfits and the parties and all that stuff in New York. I mean, next level. I mean, you leave there with a appreciation for how somebody could get after
a full length white fur coat. Who gets away with that
line in a football uniform? I mean, what kind the balls that guy has, to pull that off too.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is so
cigar
funny.
in his mouth, probably.
Yeah, right. The smell of last night all over him.
Well, we're not even going to go there.
What kind of show is this?
Hey, still slinging the rock, though.
We're supposed to be talking about Richard. Not
as the blind man would say, "Good morning, ladies."
Well, we loved you and Home Improvement. I know that's probably the life-changing role for you, but
it was amazing. I had 2
Still
life-changing events in that year. Because we were pregnant. Tootie, my wife, and I met in New York doing a play, got married in 85. It was her decision to move to California in 1990. And then a year and a half later, I get Home Improvement. The same year we get pregnant. So in that first season, I have this life-changing job,
right? Amazing job.
And a son, a life-changing event there. And it kept me grounded. I probably would be dead if I was 10 years younger and no kids, and I have no idea what I would have done with that extra money.
Yeah, kids will change you.
Yeah,
for the good. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, Jake wants to have an army.
Yeah, I do. I've got a 6 and 2-year-old, almost 3, turns 3 next Saturday. But man, I love them. I could have 10. I need a home improvement gig. That's what I need. That way I could have 10 of them.
When did you realize the show had taken off? I mean, I remember like yesterday, my stepfather was the guy behind the fence for Halloween. It was just like,
I was about to ask you what his face looked like.
Yeah.
I got pictures. And I got, my last name is Wilson.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Richard Karn Wilson. Karn is my middle name, and I had to go to Karn because there was a Richard Wilson in the Union.
Oh, wow.
And so all of my parents' friends thought, well, did they name the neighbor after you? And I go, no, that's not how that happened. That's not at all. But my dad went down there and he took a picture with Earl Hindman behind the fence, and the two Wilsons. And he used that as his Christmas card forever.
That's great. I always wonder with actors, because Gary Valentine said the same thing. That's not his real name. I mean, well, it's Valentine's his mother's maiden name. But I mean, I guess if somebody's got a name before you, you just got to figure it out.
Exactly. Which reminds me of this great joke. It's like, what did the Polish woman get on her wedding night that was long and hard? A new last name.
Hey, as a play-by-play guy, I've run into some of those. Just FYI.
Oh my God, my first show of Family Feud, I had like these sisters from Eastern Yugoslavia, I don't know where, and I couldn't pronounce their names to save my life. And it's the first show. I'm going, I am just flailing here.
Yeah.
I was having fun, but I could not get those names.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Now, Richard, you're originally from Washington, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Grew up in Seattle.
Yeah, I think you answered that question for me last year when we met on the dance floor out there. I think you said something to the effect of
and he kept trying to lead. I swear to God, those Alabama boys.
Richard walks up and goes, "You stole our fucking code." I like this guy. I like this guy.
There's some people that might send them back to you. At this
Money
point.
talk, bullshit walks. Yeah, I know. But then, when he didn't win every game, they started going, "Well, what's going on here?"
We got spoiled.
Yeah,
we have been spoiled.
Alabama fans have a short temper. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, they have expectations.
Yeah. He's working on trying.
Well, hey, it takes a lot of balls to follow Coach Saban.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the best that will ever do it. I don't think you're ever going to have anybody.
But that's also like with your golf game. You have a club that you really feel comfortable with. You're going to hit that club great all the time.
Yeah.
But then you put another club in your hand and you go, I don't know, but I'm not sure the distance, and you don't hit it as well.
Yeah.
So they have to earn that confidence, that, comfortableness with being with that coach.
Yeah.
And know that he's going to do the right job. Because you got these kids coming in with ideas of greatness, NBA, NFL or whatever. And if they're not playing, they're thinking of moving.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And a lot of them are making more than the coaches are.
And now you bring money into the aspect, and it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah. The pressure's different, than what it would have been at any of his other jobs.
So much more transactional now. It's just hard.
The business itself.
When I was playing, it was so much fun. I mean, because nobody had any money. It was just
they had money. Don't tell me that. You went to your locker and it's like, oh my God,
look what I found.
I didn't know putters came solid gold.
One of these.
Yeah. A lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A.
Except it was a little heavier with green stuff in it.
That's what Ryan Anderson say. I old teammate of mine. I had a good game. He goes, "You're in that F-150 tonight."
There you go. There you go.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't think that. I think they should have always gotten paid something, but with the way the system is now.
Well, originally they said, well, you're getting paid with a good education. Well, they're not really getting a full education because they're practicing. They're doing a lot of stuff. So, you got all these kids that some do go to the NFL without any business idea of how to deal with that kind of money. So, once you give them something like that, and there's television money, there's a lot of money in college sports. There just is. And now it's getting passed around a little bit. Hopefully it goes to the guard and the tackle that is protecting that one or two or three guys in the backfield.
Yeah I mean, well, these I've always thought that again, back when I was playing, guys would get suspended for accepting like a cheeseburger for free. Justin Blackman in college.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, we got sanctioned for 20 years because Billy Joe Hobart got a deal on a truck.
Yeah.
Not even a new truck. I think it was used. And all of a sudden the Pac-10 it was the Pac-10 back then, or Pac-12, sanctioned us. The league didn't sanction us. It was USC and UCLA going, well, you can't have television for 3 years and you can't do this. And I said, really? And that was before leagues realized you want your league to be strong.
Right? Oh yeah.
So don't weaken one of your, because then your whole league doesn't stand up to the numbers that they need
I've said
for a national championship.
Oh yeah, it's like the NCAA. I mean, back in the day, some of those guys that you knew were getting paid. Johnny Manziel, I mean, he talks about it. And I don't blame him. He made a lot of money in college, but the NCAA knew that was going on. Yeah. They weren't going to touch their cash cow.
Exactly.
I mean,
but the schools within our league did. They went, well, you had a national championship, and we're going to knock you down a couple pegs.
Yeah.
Well, it happened to Bama. I mean, we were on probation.
Tennessee got us.
Right.
Tennessee? What did Fulmer who snitched?
It was like the secret witness. But yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. Like the entire conference is better if all the teams are better.
Yes.
It's changed in that aspect too. And now we're talking about super conferences, which would be crazy. But I think some of the West Coast schools need
the basketball game, that's on this week, right? They're full court. They're not sloughing off. They're running.
Yeah.
They are running hard. Mm-hmm. They're not taking their time. They're playing.
Yeah. NBA basketball, I can only watch during the playoffs, when they're really getting after it.
They're really playing.
I mean,
to come back, 32 points?
Yeah.
You had to do a hell of a lot of running.
Yeah.
and making 3-pointers. I'll give you that. You got to get hot, but still you have to hustle.
Yeah. Well, Richard, what got you into acting, the arts? I mean, did you grow up?
I think what got me into acting was school. I did some plays in school and I felt very comfortable. I felt good. I could make people laugh on stage or whatever. And I just kind of kept, gravitating towards that. And I got accepted to a theater school in New York, NYU. My parents couldn't pay for it. They looked at me like I had two heads. It's like, well, we can't send you to New York. You're going to go to the University of Washington. It's $78 a quarter, and it turned out, luck of the draw, that we had like maybe the third best theater program in the nation.
Yeah.
We were behind Juilliard and Yale.
Mm-hmm.
Those years that I was there. So, sometimes it's just luck of the draw, but persistence. I didn't get home improvement until I was 35.
I was about to ask you that.
So 11 years in New York, doing theater, doing whatever I could get. And then we move out to California and I'm a waiter. We're doing, I was an apartment manager. And you asked me earlier, when did I know? I didn't have that concept of what that meant.
Yeah.
Something that was really, going, because I would do theater for 8 weeks, a month, 2 months, summer theater.
Right.
And then you're looking for the next job. I'm an apartment manager, and the show, I'm still keeping my day job, because it's free rent, which cracks me up because I was getting paid $900 a month for free rent.
Yeah,
that's it. But so the show has premiered, and now it's been on 3 or 4 or 5 times. And I get a phone call from one of the guys downstairs and say, our kitchen sink is stopped up. Can you do something? I go, yeah, let me take a look at it. And I go down there, and this is like 7:00 at night.
I know where he's going.
I go down there, and I open the door, and like 15 of his friends are in there. And he goes, you look at that. We got Al Borland in our I knew it. And I went back up and I said to my wife, because it's time to get a new job.
Yeah.
I got a great job. I don't think we need this job anymore.
Do you really did no home improvement though?
I did what I could. And most guys can. Some shy away from it because I don't know, I might break stuff, blah, 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 blah. If you just go ahead and try and do it, most of the time you're going to be able to do it and feel good about it. But then there's stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to fix a dishwasher, change out the solenoid or whatever it is. You're not going to fix that. But, you can fix a stuffed up pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably helped you on the show too, kind of having.
Well, my dad was a builder.
Oh, wow.
So I'm playing my dad.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, somewhat natural to you.
Very straightforward.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, when I was remodeling my house, I had him come down and I decided to change all the windows and doors. because there were like 4 different styles of windows in this house, metal, wood, and so I said, well, I'm just going to change this out. And my dad looked at me and goes, so do those windows leak? I go, no. He said, well, then why are you changing them out? Well, they don't leak. Well, they don't leak. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, right.
I go,
you're never too old for a lecture from Dad.
No, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. I mean, come on.
If it ain't broke.
Come on. So how often do people call you Al? I mean, do you just get used to that?
It's there. Some people call me Tim.
I was going to ask you about Tim.
They go, hey, Tim. No, I'm the other guy. But once I started doing Family Feud, I got a lot more Richards.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard. And it's weird because you're out there in the world and someone goes, hey, Richard. And you look and you go, where do I know you from? Are you from high school? Or are you from, if you're from high school, you're going to call me Rick. So somewhere in my professional life, when I went Richard, but no, I don't know this guy from Adam, but
I think that guy sold me a pocket hose.
Yeah.
After I met you last year, I went and bought a pocket hose.
It's a damn good hose, which started out not that great. They rushed the patent, or they got the patent. They rushed the product out there before it was ready for the pressure of a house. It was great. It would have been great for an RV or a boat with less water pressure. But once it was busting out, and I'd have people coming up on the street and going, hey, I bought that hose because of you. What are you going to do about it? It busted here. And I said, okay. And I'd call the company and I'd have them send a new one out or whatever. And then finally I said, you guys, you got to fix this. You just got to fix this. I don't want people hitting me on the street because their hose broke, so do something.
Ironically.
Did your hose break?
No, just a little valve. The valve came off.
Yeah, okay.
The hose is great. It's my favorite hose.
Hose is good.
He does love it. I'm just kidding.
It stores well. It does all the stuff it needs to do.
You're an idiot.
That's just like messing with him.
He's such an idiot.
We watch your show and we think that you and Tim get along great. Like it just feels like there's a great chemistry there.
Acting,
it's kind of the same thing with us. I don't think you can hide that, right?
No. Well, I wasn't supposed to play that role. They cast Stephen Tobolowsky. I've told this story a million times, but it was cast with Stephen Tobolowsky from Groundhog Day, the life insurance salesman.
Yeah,
Ned. Oh. And that because they wanted someone taller, someone older, someone different from Tim physically. And I knew these guys from a job I did in Indiana for $100 a week stipend, and they knew me. They knew me, which was very similar to what Tim was in their minds. So they never even brought me in. And I called them up. I go, come on, at least bring me in so I can meet your casting director. And they go, okay, come on in. And I did it, and I made them laugh. And then I get a phone call and I go, we might need you for the pilot. And I go, great, because we're pregnant. And I need a job, other than being an apartment manager. And I did the pilot, and I knew what they needed. And it wasn't me showboating. It wasn't me trying to be funny. It was me supporting Tim, who was still a little nervous about being an actor instead of a stand-up.
Right. Yeah.
And I was there for him, and I helped him, and I would throw those grapefruits up for him to hit out of the park. And but because I'm me, I still get, a look or a remark like that, and it's funny because I'm playing truth without overstating it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great show.
It was, sitcoms are kind of I feel like they're a dying breed, right? I mean, back in when Home Improvement was around.
Well, yeah, that was the 90s. Back when you had 5 days of rehearsal,
TV.
You had 15 writers, that would rewrite every day after rehearsal, and now, oh my God, I have one friend that went down to Atlanta and directed a sitcom in one day.
Crazy.
It was like, well, how do you do that? He says, well, I need this attitude here, this attitude there, and go.
Have you seen a lot more opportunities now that, you've got Netflix, all these streaming platforms?
The opportunities are there, but the money isn't.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not paying the actors equivalent.
Really?
No, they aren't, but they're churning out a lot of stuff. And now you've got this whole nother $1 billion industry called verticals. And I know by the looks on your face, what the hell is that? It's something came out of China, a lot of money, and they basically make a movie in 4, 5, 6 minute segments, and you'll see it on your phone. there'll be this little scene, and you'll watch the scene and you'll go, oh, that's interesting. And then they might go to the next scene.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, and then you have to pay for the next scene.
Oh, really?
Or whatever. And it's called verticals. And there's a lot of actors doing that.
Is that because of the new ADD generation?
Yeah, but it's a way to get, product out there on your phone, because kids are watching, they're dumbing down scripts because they know people are watching TV, but they're also watching this and they're doing that. So they're repeating information.
Yeah.
Which can get tedious if you're actually paying attention.
Yeah.
So that the viewers who aren't fully paying attention can stay up.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, who's that guy? And then, well, I'm right. Don't forget that's my name, or whatever. So, but there's things like Ghosts, which was an English sitcom that they brought over here. There's another show called Good Medicine or something like that was based on Doc Martin, which was an English. So we've been poaching some English shows.
And Taylor Sheridan's made everybody a cowboy.
And Taylor Sheridan, Landman just landed.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny.
Billy Bob Thornton
Billy Bob
blows me away, because you see him off camera or not acting, and he's completely different than what he can do, on tape.
Well, that's acting.
I understand that's acting.
That's acting.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it just kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. And it's great when a writer and an actor get together. It's magic.
Yeah.
Because they just know how to work with each other,
Yeah.
Put the words in his mouth and it comes out of his mouth gold.
Yeah.
It was like when with your guys' show, like it was just magic. And I know that I saw you guys were going to do a reboot or something like that.
Well, we never really were going to. What they did was they advertised the three of us, Pat Richardson, who played Jill, Debbie, who played the Tool Time Girl, and me, came back to do the first episode of Shifting Gears, second season.
That's what it was.
And they promoted that like a home improvement reunion. And people just thought, they're going to reboot that. But that's a whole nother lawsuit thing going on there. And I don't want to get into the details. It's always bottom line.
Yeah, I hate that.
But there's Iger brought Tim into his office and goes, hey, we should do a reboot. And Tim goes, have you talked to your lawyers? He goes, no. He says, well, talk to your lawyers. Like a week later, he goes, okay, we can't do that.
There's your breaking news.
There's your breaking news. But Tim and I did do a show for the History Channel called Assembly Required, which was a building competition show, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we didn't have a lot of script. A lot of it was just us, back and forth talking like that, and then we had like the technical stuff of the script. But that was fun, and that's streaming on Hulu after it was on the History Channel.
Awesome.
History Channel didn't know what to do with us. They wanted modern marvels, and we're funny.
Yeah,
and they're going, well, we don't know what to do with this.
I have to check that out. Well, what can people look forward to seeing you in? What are you doing right now? And how much do you like this golf tournament too?
Oh, I've been coming to this golf. Well, this is the 15th year, and I think I've come 13.
Wow, out
of the 15 years, and every year I go, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming, because it's a bitch to get here. It's like you got to take 15 trains, planes.
We talk about this too.
Getting here, and then if the weather shifts, you're in a hotel for a year and a half.
Driving from Mobile to here, you feel like you see every inch of Mississippi.
Yeah.
At least the hotel's nice.
And the hotel's nice. We had to duct tape our curtain up. Swear to God. Actually, it wasn't duct tape, it was Velcro. My wife went up and got some Velcro.
Yeah. And the water's crystal clear.
No, it's so bad they have to put a sign up in the bathroom. Okay, now it looks brown, but it's still good.
Like, did I forget something?
Yeah. Just don't put a match near it.
Oh no.
Well, it really has been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah. I remember last year when we showed up, it was the first year, and you walked in and I was like, No way.
Yeah, we were excited.
Well, Steve and I go way back. We met doing a golf tournament in St. Martin or St. Thomas.
Okay.
You know,
I
and
think I heard you talking
we
about
stayed
that last
friends
night. Yeah.
all those years. So
Crazy what golf can do. Brings a lot of people together.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
And you know somebody when you play with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, it's like, okay, simmer down now. Just simmer down. You're not that good to be that mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how he reacts to this slice.
I can fix that slice for you, but you got to listen. Okay, you know what it is? Turn. There's 50 different ways to tell someone to turn, and the first 10 they won't get, but then that 11th one was like, oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's life altering.
Yeah.
Once you fix a slice, man, you felt like you really got.
Well, it's like throwing a ball, right? Throwing a football.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody has that whip or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, throwing a football to me, it's one of those kind of just is natural things. Either you got it or you don't.
But some guys, you know, some had to speed up the process because they were too slow for pro.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you can't take a big backswing or a big, wind up. You got to get it out there. Boom. So now you got Mahomes. Yeah, basically doing that.
Yeah.
Sidearm.
It doesn't matter. This way, this way.
Get it
all over the changing hands.
Yeah.
70 yards across.
And all these other guys are going, shit, I didn't think you could do that. Is that cheating?
Yeah.
That's cheating, isn't it? No. It's just another way of getting the ball to another person.
Back when I was playing, like you were taught, ball in and out of your hands in 3 seconds. Don't be running around. Don't be extending the play.
Right.
It's all about timing. Get the ball out. And then all of a sudden you see Patrick Mahomes and everybody's doing it. And you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Different world now.
10 years ago, this was taboo.
Yeah.
But games change.
Games change.
But
it also changes with your front line. If your front line can't hold, you're running. You're dodging. You don't have 3 seconds.
Yeah. Gets dangerous.
So, as long as you've got a good, strong front line, those guys, should be paid.
Hey, that's the most important. That's the foundation of a good team.
Yeah.
Offensive line. You don't have it, you're done.
Yeah. Unski. We found that out over the last few years at Bama. The last championship was the best offensive line. And then when we've had good players where they just haven't meshed.
Well, to be fair, I think it's great to change the stuff around so it's not always the same 3 or 4 or 5 teams.
Yeah.
Just let some of the rest of the country, get good. All of a sudden TCU got good. Out of nowhere. And Chris Peterson is now at USC, but TCU also discovered oil on their campus. So make the correlation there.
Well, I liked it when Alabama beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, so did I. I'm for that.
Yeah, well, of course
Roll
you did.
Tide. Take that back with you, Richard. Roll Tide to everybody out there. Thank you for doing our show.
You're welcome. That was fun.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Richard,
it.
thank you so much.
Okay.
Really enjoyed it.
And Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve,
Hey, Jake, you ready to rock?
let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake's still got game. While Steve keeps rocking aces. Boom, Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays.
At Pearl River Resort, let's roll.
I don't have to be me till Monday,